Hi, everybody. How are you doing? If you're new here, I highly recommend you hit that subscribe button and the bell down below to not miss a single one of our new lessons. And don't forget, if you like this lesson, please show us some support by hitting that like button. Also, take your fluency to the next level with our lessons. Lesson 22. Hob's story of his Uncle Tom. Pedro, Lucille, Olaf. Hob: well, they're away now. I hope they have a good journey. Lucille: I'm sure they will. Hob: I don't know about you, but I'm cold. Lucille: so am I, Pedro. Let's go to the refreshment room and have some coffee. Hob: but I'm hungry too. Lucille: oh, Hob, surely not, already. Hob: I tell you, I am. Pedro: all right, let's go to the restaurant. We'll have coffee, and Hob can have breakfast. Hob: it's expensive, you know. In the restaurant. Pedro: that's all right, I'm paying for it. Hob: oh, good. Come on to the restaurant, and while we're there I'll tell you the story of my Uncle Tom. Olaf: what, another uncle? Hob: oh, yes, I've quite a lot of uncles, and I can tell you a story about each one of them. Hob has finished his breakfast, bacon and eggs, toast and marmalade and 3 cups of coffee, and here is his story. The story of Uncle Tom, the man who took notice of notices. My Uncle Tom used to work on the railway, that's why I was reminded of him just now. It wasn't at a big station like this, it was a little place called Lowton Cross. Only about 2 trains a day stopped there, and Tom was station master, chief porter and signalman all in one. In fact, Tom did any work that came along. And there wasn't a happier man in the whole of England. Lowton Cross was the pride of his heart. The waiting room was cleaned every day by the chief cleaner, Tom. The chairs were polished by the chief polisher, Tom, and the tickets were sold and collected by the chief ticket collector, Tom. Sometimes there were as many as 4 tickets a day. And the money was counted every evening by Thai chief clerk, Tom. One day, there was £13, 1.8, the biggest amount that was ever taken in one day during the whole 50 years that Tom was there. Against the rules. That station was run well. Tom was very strict about rules. He knew what a passenger was allowed to do and what he was not allowed to do. Where he was allowed to smoke, and where he was not allowed to smoke. And if any passenger dared to do anything that was against the rules, there was trouble at Lowton Cross. He was there, as I said, for 50 years, and then he had to retire. There is no doubt that Tom had done his job well. In all the 50 years he had been there, he had never missed a single day. Every day he had been on duty. Well, the railway company thought they ought to do something to recognize this, and so a little farewell ceremony was arranged, and a man from the head office, Sir Joseph Binks, was asked to go to Lowton Cross for the ceremony. Tom was thanked and was given a small cheque as a present. He was very pleased, of course, but he said to Sir Joseph, I don't need the money. Tom had always been careful and had saved quite a nice amount of money, but can I have, instead, something that will remind me of the happy days I have spent here in Lowton Cross? Sir Joseph was rather surprised, but he said he thought it could be arranged. What kind of reminder had Tom in mind? So Tom said, well, sir, could the company let me have a part of an old railway carriage, just one compartment? It doesn't matter how old or broken it is. I can repair it and clean it. I shall have plenty of time now that I have retired. I want to put it in my back garden, and every day I can go and sit in it. And that will remind me of Loughton Cross. Sir Joseph thought, poor old fellow, his mind is failing, but we have some old railway carriages that are only fit for breaking up, so he said, well, Mr. Hobdle, if that is what you want, you shall have it. And about a week later a carriage, or rather a compartment, was sent and was taken into Tom's back garden. Tom worked at it, just as he had worked at Loughton Cross. It was cleaned and painted and polished, and in a week or so it looked very nice. One day, about a year after Tom had retired, I was staying with Uncle Albert, that's Tom's brother, of course, and he said, come on, Hob, let's go and visit old Tom. I've not seen him for a long time. So we went to Tom's house and walked up to his front door. It was a bad day for a visit. It began to rain as we got off the train, and by the time we got to Tom's house it was raining hard. We walked up the path to the front door and Uncle Albert knocked, but there was no answer. However, the door wasn't locked, so Uncle Albert opened it and we went in. Tom was nowhere to be seen, and Albert said, he'll be in that old railway carriage of his, we'll go out at the back. Sure enough, he was there, but he wasn't sitting in the carriage, he was outside, on the step of the carriage, smoking his pipe. His head was covered with a sack and the rain was running down his back. Hello, Tom, said Uncle Albert, why on earth are you sitting there? Why don't you go inside the carriage out of the rain? Can't you see, said Tom, the carriage they sent me was a non-smoker. Loughton Cross, no smoking. Exercises. Exercise 1. Use each of the following in sentences. Hungry, trouble, need, expensive, retire, instead, chief, doubt, arrange, polish, job, repair, clerk, duty, knock, amount, company, lock, strict, ceremony, step, dare, check, sack. Exercise 2. Answer the following questions. 1. What's the difference between a refreshment room and a restaurant? 2. Why was Hob glad to go to the restaurant? 3. What did Hob have for breakfast? 4. Why was Hob reminded just now of Uncle Tom? 5. What was the name of the station where Uncle Tom worked? 6. How long did he work there? 7. Did Tom like his work? 8. What work did he do? 9. Do you think Loughton Cross was a busy station? Why not? 10. How can you show that Tom was strict about rules? 11. What happened if someone broke the rules? 12. Why did the railway company arrange a farewell ceremony? 13. Who was asked to go to the ceremony? 14. What present did he give to Tom? 15. What did Tom want? Why? 16. What did Sir Joseph Binks think about Tom? 17. Sir Joseph said, you shall have it. Why is shall used here and not toll? Exercise 3. Tell or write Hob's story of Uncle Tom. Dear friends, thank you very much for your support, for watching and for liking. I wish you success in learning English. Subscribe to our channel, and good luck.